What's going on, y'all? If y'all ain't seen this yet, that's the newest thing. Um, but what I want to get into, what I would miss if I was gone. Okay, so to start things off, the sun when it's winter time and it's been really cold and you haven't seen it in a while, and all of a sudden the clouds just move and you feel like that heat on your skin. And another thing would be when I haven't spoken with a close friend in a really long time and something great has happened in their life or something has happened in my life that I'm able to share with them. Definitely something that I would miss. Or like those late night conversations where you and one of your buddies just kind of like piece something together that's like crucial to like solving some kind of problem that you're having. And on that note, having a dream that kind of prepares you for something or gives you a warning about something. I have a lot of interesting dreams um, that kind of relate to the life that I'm currently living or um, like a problem that I'm having. And sometimes they're answered. And I would miss getting good workouts in with the homies. I would miss that like peace of mind of like being in my own world and knowing that I'm doing something productive or doing something that's making me feel good about myself. I think people need more things like that in their lives, like whether it be hobbies or just things that they feel productive doing, but that also are like you can track long term progress. And I think the things that I would miss the most are like overcoming struggles, whether it be addiction or anything that I would consider like a cancer to self improvement, something that just constantly drags you down. Like, we've all gone through our own battles, but like quitting things like addictive things like drugs or whatever it be, that's like one of the most freeing things that you can really go through. Like to break off some kind of dependency chain is really important. So I would miss that kind of like like a quest for self-improvement, as I would call it. It's like a mission that gives you some sort of purpose. um, Another thing that I would miss would be warm blankets on a winter night, like a cold rainy night when you're kind of sleeping and you could hear the raindrops outside. I think there's like something, it's like a gratitude thing where it's like, you can be thankful in that moment that you're like having a warm bed and having shelter and that you're not outside. It's like an extra comforting feeling that you can be grateful that you're somewhere cozy while the sorry, my dog's itching himself under the table, but it's like you can be thankful for your circumstance, and it kind of puts it into perspective like, hey, I could be sleeping out in the rain, or I could be under a park bench or something. So that's something I would miss is just, and it kind of goes hand in hand with just the gratitude thing, like being so grateful for the things that I do have and the things and the people who are around and who do care or whatever. I would also, and sorry, I didn't do any preparation for this whatsoever. I just kind of like thought of how interesting it would be to make a video about it, and I kind of just spontaneously did it. Um, Music. I love all kinds of music, whether it be like vintage styled rock music or grunge music, like 90s. I love the 90s music of rock. And then like that earlier, like or like late 90s early 2000s kind of like hip hop rap scene that took over. I think all that music's pretty interesting. And then like getting into those like newer age stuff, um Peep, shout out Peep, salute. Probably one of my favorite artists ever, and definitely like one of the artists that I've listened to the longest from like what was like middle school till all the way through high school and it's still into college till this day. So like just people who had like the creativity to um, impact an entire industry of music and like change it, like Kurt Cobain, like in his group, like those guys, you know, I appreciate people who are willing to take the leap of faith and not care what anyone thinks and just send it and make something of themselves, make something unique that they can do. That changes, and then now all types of people want to kind of like branch off of their idea or their style and turn it into something of their own. I really like things like that. Um, I even have a good buddy of mine who makes awesome music, right? Super interesting because it's so weird to idolize people, especially musicians and actors, right? Like those are the things that we idolize celebrities. But it's also interesting to humanize them in the same way and be like, hey, I know this guy on a personal level. Like, he's a good dude just as I am, and he has flaws just as I do. You know, like we always get so bent out of shape over idolizing people and thinking that they're perfect, which in turn causes us to think we're imperfect. But it's all just a big loophole when you think about it, is we're all human and we're all on the same playing field. So I would definitely say I would miss things like that, right? Like acknowledging people's ingenuity and their like creativeness, art, all type of things, like whether it's visual art or something you can hear. I would miss animals and their natural beauty of like being so free in a way. You know, it's like if you guys have ever seen like deer out in the woods, just like that majestic, like I don't want to say godlike, but if for those of you who believe like nature in itself is God, then yeah, it's like God. It's like a tree branch of what God is, right? It's like life in its most simplistic form that we've gone so far away from. Even looking at myself creating this video wearing like clothes and like glasses because I can't see, and like a computer, you know, like while I'm just like talking to myself. So I think it's really something that I would miss is like just watching animals and seeing how like the way the birds or the hawks will fly over, and the way little rabbits all get together, or spiders and their huge spider webs. Like it's all such little things that we always take for granted, you know? The beach. I would miss the beach. I'd miss the mountains and all the like all the areas of the world that I've seen or was lucky enough to visit, different countries. Um, yeah, man. Like, I think those are the things that, even me talking about it, I wish would like to travel more, see more things. Um, but overall, like, the thing that sticks with me the most is like the quest of self improvement, be it physically, mentally, and spiritually. I would say, like, on a physical level, that's like the thing that I'm the best at. And then next on the mental level, because like what, like reading or schoolwork or even just like self-reflection and just like trying to analyze everything around me. But spiritually, I think I could work on that a lot. I'm not really a religious person to like the typical, like, oh, this one or that one, or I follow this rule or this rule, or read this book and that book. It's, I don't know. I guess I could think more about it for sure. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this very spontaneous rambling. Maybe you can make some sense of it. If not, fuck it.